Well. Another Coach Tomlin victory, another road dub, another beautiful performance by the black and gold. Shout out to the president. Better watch that ball, man. You better watch that ball. That was a good one today, man. Plenty to unpack with this game as well, man. Super excited to talk about all of it with y'all. You already know what it is, man. And shout out, more importantly, to Steelers Nation. Holy smokes. The way that they were showing up in them crowds today. You seen them terrible towels waving today. You saw at the end of the game today. Shout out to Steelers Nation. Shout out to Steelers Nation, man. And new contributors making plays, right? Offense and defense side of the ball, man. We saw both of our newly acquired guys step up, man, and give us some production, man. So salute to both of them cats, man. But you know how we do, baby. Like I said, we got plenty to unpack, so we ain't gonna waste no time. Drop it in the comment section where you are tuning in from, so then that way I can give you them big boy shout outs to start the day's show. And of course, don't forget to hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Love what the black and gold do what they supposed to do. Richard R. Bezo in the 310 Carson City. Oh, Carson, California. Shout out to Carson, California. Then after that, we got the homie Jardell in the 310 San Pedro, California. Mike Hood in the 614 Columbus. Shout out to Columbus in the building. Then from there, man, we got Dr. Noriega. Shout out to Dr. Noriega in the 864 Greenville, South Carolina. Jay Morrison in the 412. Shout out to the 412. You know what it is. King Perk in the 305 Dade County. Jamie Carlo in the 321 Melbourne, Florida. And Spaceman always tapping in the 719. I can't forget Drew Komrosky in the 406 Montana. And of course, I got the homie David Dupree, aka DD Smalls, always tapping in Florida by way of Gainesville. And Hassan T 1989 in the 420 Mars Milky Way. Well, hey brother, I try not to bump into you while I'm hanging around up there with you, all right? And M Pennant in the 512 Austin, Texas. Shout out to Austin, Texas, baby. Shout out. King Easy in the 239 Southwest Florida, Fort Myers. Definitely appreciate you rocking out with us today. And Brandon Clark. I'm going to end it with the homie in the 540 Roanoke, Virginia. Simply says, go Steelers. And of course, it ain't a party unless Lifted Ones is in here. Always represent that 916 Sacramento. So salute to you. Salute to you. Man. Let's get this off real quick, man. Because like I said, I am really excited about this victory, man. I was impressed with a lot of things. The first thing that I would say I was impressed with most about this game was the fact it wasn't perfect. It wasn't pretty. Everything didn't go exactly our way. Washington was able to make some plays. We had a little bit of some self-sabotage going on. But as a whole, we did what good teams do. And that's find ways to win despite our own shortcomings, man. Like I said, sometimes those shortcomings or the negative is created via the defense, right? The opponents that we're playing against, man, they'll make a play, offense, defense. It's like, whoa, that's adversity. Or it's by way of a questionable call. That wasn't the case for us today, man. We were creating our own adversity, man. We obviously had the fake punt deep in our own side of the field. And ultimately, man, it hit him in the chest. You got to execute, right? So you think about that. That's self-inflicted adversity right there. We talk about the Russell Wilson interception. Self-inflicted, man. It was kind of forced. I didn't like it at the time. We talk about the Jaylen Warren fumble. Once again, man, self-inflicted, right? Hold on to the ball, man. We're going to be scoring a touchdown or at worst kicking a field goal. But at the same time, what did I also see? I saw after, we had the incomplete on the punt, saw us come back later on in that same exact game and come up with what? A big time muff punt recovery that ultimately ended up being a touchdown. Shout out to Ben Skronik, man. His first game back being activated, right? We talk about Russ, man. Yeah, he threw the pick, but then he comes right back later on. GP dagger. And then, of course, the Mike Williams moon ball. And can't forget the president. Hard count, man. You love to see it, man. Getting the offsides penalty, man, to ultimately end the game. And then even on like I said, defense side of the ball, man, we had multiple plays, man, where their receivers were having some success. Noah Brown, right, was drawing some penalties, catching some passes. Terry McLaurin drawing some penalties, catching some passes, man. But when it was time to make plays, defensive secondary. James Pierre with the big time play on third down on the right side or on the sideline. And then talk about the flip side of that, man, Minkah Fitzpatrick and DeMonte Casey with the biggest tackle on fourth down, stopping Zach Ertz inches short of getting that first down, which was crazy when you talk about the Commanders, man, on the season. Coming into this game, we're 11 of 11 on fourth down conversions. Like, they were money, and you could see even, with us getting the stop, how much went into us getting that, man. It was very, very tight, man. But ultimately, man, that's what you want to see right there, man. But on a positive note, thought we ran the ball well enough, man. As a collective, we ended up over 100. Let me get those numbers. Yeah, as a collective, man, we ended up over 140 yards on the day with 43 attempts. We committed to it, man. Jaylen Warren, 14 for 66. He looked explosive. He looked good catching the ball. He looked like Jaylen Warren. It was just the fumble. That's the part that he has a little nastiness of his game that we want to get rid of. But that was, his day. Naji Harris, 21 carries for 53 yards and a touchdown. Physical, bruising, punishing. Looked fast at times, man. Loving what I'm seeing from him. Did get a little banged up, so we'll obviously see what that looks like, man. But if I remember correctly, he was able to come back. So I did like that part of it, man. But I thought our offensive line, I thought did a really good job, man. Zach Frazier being back definitely helped. I thought Mason McCormick looked really good pulling around, man, on some of his blocks. And pass protection wise, man, did a good enough job, man. Obviously, Dante Fowler had a couple of plays out there. The Frankie Louvu sack, man, that was on the pressure, so I'm not tripping on that. But as a whole, I thought that we did a good job of, except running that football, man, and winning up in those trenches, man. Then from there, man, when you're talking about just the passing element of it, yeah, whenever you're talking about multiple explosive passing plays of 20 plus or 15 plus yards is what we say is the explosive play, right? Explosive run is any run 10 yards or more. Explosive pass play is 15 yards or more. So when you think about Russ, man, he had multiple explosive pass plays. Obviously, hitting Mike Williams, hitting GP on a couple of those as well, man. That's what you want to see from him. But also being able to throw multiple touchdowns. When you go 3 touchdowns through the air, 1 interception, that is beautiful ball. That's high level production right there, man. That's part of why, we were talking about, man, you want to put him out there, man. And in terms of some of his incompletions, I was back and forth on the thought process because I know the commentator, and shout out to Charles Davis, man, that's the dude right there. But was talking a little bit about some of the shot plays to Calvin Austin, and he wasn't as fond of them. But to me, I'm like, we're not fond of it right now just because they're incompletions. But when those are completions, that's the same thing they would say about Tyler Lockett, and everybody loved Tyler Lockett. You can't create that connection. You can't complete those deep passes to a Calvin Austin unless you actually throw the ball to Calvin Austin. So if it took, 4 passes today to Calvin on a deep ball and none of them connected, but that means next week it does connect, it's worth it to me. So I know some people might have felt some type of way about that, but as a whole, I don't shy away from that. I think that is completely fine because that's a part of us being aggressive. That's a part of us trying to keep these defenses from, crowding the box. And part of the mindset was, if we're not going to go out and get a Devontae Adams, if we're not going to go get, one of these bigger name guys at the time, then yeah, the group, these are going to be some of the guys we're going to have to figure out who's going to step up. And this week, Mike Williams was that guy, man, obviously with the 32-yard touchdown pass. But that's the beautiful part that I will say with Russ. I just feel like, man, his command of this offense, man, his ability to understand when to be aggressive, when to not be so aggressive, when he needs to lead guys, when he needs to, throw some of the balls in the ground, man, get out the play. I just think he has a really good command of this team and this offense, man. And shout out to Arthur Smith as well, man. I just feel like all of those guys are on the same page right now. So I'm definitely digging that. Now, when we talk about some of these defenders, thought that number one, man, Patrick Queen, man, I thought that he was flying around. I liked a lot of what I saw from him today, man. That play where he chased down Jaden Daniels, man, I thought that was pretty impressive, man, catching him on the sideline. I thought this was one of his better games, man, in the black and gold. Like I said, downhill, man, couple TFLs also. It's a really good game by PQ, man, from my eyes. Thought that Deshaun Elliott flew around, man. It was like I said, really cool to see, man, him and Jeremy Chin kind of seeing who was the more productive, athletic big box safety between those two guys, man, because they both flew around. But I thought that Deshaun Elliott, man, his production was definitely impressive, man, and his physicality. Oh my man, the one where he picks up my man in the end, like, none of the rest. I'm like, yo, granted, it was a big time, play by the offense, but I'm like, bro, that's big time hitting right there, man. So like I said, definitely like that. Cam Hayward, man, Iron Head. Shout out to him, dude, man. Once again, man, ageless wonder. Comes through, man, multiple TFLs, sacks, pressure, PBUs, just looking like a absolute disruptor in the interior part of the defense, man. You love that. And TJ Watt. Wasn't the biggest stat day for TJ, but once again, impact felt when we needed the most. He comes up with the pressure, the hits, the timely, just boogeyman type stuff, man. And that's the TJ Watt effect. Highsmith was balling out. Sucks that he got hurt. Hopefully the ankle isn't too compromised. Hopefully, but it's part of the game, man. But he definitely was providing some juice off the edge, man. And Preston Smith as well. We talk about Mike Williams coming in here, man. Late edition in the week, man, or late edition in the season, man, getting picked up via trade. But show up, catch you a 32-yard go ahead or game winning touchdown pass in your first game. That's big time on the road, man. Big time right there. But on the flip side, Preston Smith, he came through and had multiple stops on the defense side of the ball, big time in his own regard. And when Highsmith went out, it wasn't this big drop off on that last drive of who is going to rush the passer. It was like, oh, don't worry, we got another dude who's very much capable over there by Preston Smith. And it was good to see that he was able to hop in there, man, and make some stuff happen as well. Like I said, man, I just, as a whole, the way that our guys kind of help each other out. All right, you don't make the big play this week. All right, I got the big play this week. Okay, I don't make the big play this week. Okay, but he got the big play this week. Across the board, somebody is going to make that plan step up. And I think that's what you want to see versus it being just solely dependent on one person to be Batman over and over and over. But shout out to young Batman, though, because like I said, man, we got one definitely on offense, man. I feel like young GP, he's showing them to put the cape on type capabilities. And then obviously on defense, we know TJ can put that cape on occasion. So definitely like that. But in terms of a secondary, man, obviously wasn't the best or most beautiful day, but at the same time, this was a legit test that we went against, man. Jaden Daniels is a dang good player as a young guy right now, man. Those receivers, Noah Brown, Terry McLaurin, man, they played well. Terry McLaurin's a heck of a player, man. If y'all don't know about him, hey, maybe ask somebody. Duke ball. So at the time, man, it's like, yo, you see JPJ, you see Dante Jackson, they fighting with these dudes. It's like that sometimes, man. It's like that. But that's the one thing that I want to see. Anybody can get a pass or a penalty called on them, put their head between their, tail and be over here sitting on the sideline, moping, talking, well, oh, man, I gave up a catch. What the crowd gonna say about me? I ain't got time for that. Shut up, go to the next play. And that's what both of them dudes continue to do. And that's how you get out of these stadiums. James Pierre's another guy. How many people, when he dropped that pass on fourth down, were crucifying that man, right? But then them the same ones that when he had that big PBU on third down the grass, it was like, hey, man, heck of a play, Pierre, heck of a play. That's why you can't listen to the mob. That's what I call the finish. You can't listen to the mob, man. The mob is going to go crazy one way or the other. Next play. Always next play, man. Because the same people that's talking crazy about you, but the same ones talking about how they love you, man. And Pierre's a prime example of that, man. JPJ, Dante Jackson, shoot, Minka. But I say all them dudes back there, man. So they get it, man. But like I said, I definitely like what I saw from those dudes, man, because this was a legit passing attack, man. Them dudes is legit over there in Jaden Daniels, man. And Cliff Kingsbury, he definitely was dialing it up nice, man. But this is what you wanted to see. Our guys, man, stepping up and making those timely plays when we had to make them. The pass rush, man, stepping up, man, making those plays when we had to make them. And I was really impressed with how we were able to offset some of their trickery, right? They had a double pass set up, man. Highsmith saw it. Preston Smith saw it. Dudes running to the ball, making a play. Like, that's what you need to see. And that's how it has to be sometimes to get out of these stadiums, man. Some of these dudes, like I said, man, not everybody wins those type of games. And for us to be able to, like I said, find a way to kind of gut that out at the end of it, man, and show that veteran side of it, man, by winning it via hard count. That's what you want to see, man. That is definitely what you want to see. So that was kind of, like I said, man, my initial reaction to it, man. But let me know your thoughts, man. Obviously, we're going to talk it out, man. I see some comments coming. I see some chats coming in here, man. So hit that like button one time for the culture. And don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel. Shout out, shout out. I like it when we in here like that, man. A little good old salmon too. A little salmon too. All right. T Star F. Shout out to you. He says that was a Tomlin special. Win. I would agree, man. I really enjoy these Tomlin wins. Okay. Where you see some of the defense having to step up. You see some special teams having to step up. You see some running the ball stepping up. And then you get the occasional or the who is the new guy that's gonna come onto the scene. Mike Williams was the guy today, man. He was the whoa, hey now. Hey, I like that. All right, I can get used to that. Russ, also, let me reintroduce myself. Let me keep letting y'all know. This is why Coach Tomlin made the decision that he made. He looks y'all in the eye every single time when you do it, too. He's like, hey, man, 3 of them things today. 3 tutties, 1 pick. Just remember that, okay? Just remember that. That's shout out to Russ, man. Shout out to Russ. But I like it, though, man. I like it. Oh, Malvo does it. Joining the upper room. So welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Shout out to you, Malvo. Mike Hood, he says, I blame this one on Coach T. Man, I do as well. Man, Coach, he always doing this, man. Giving these stank to Coach Tomlin wins on the road. Oh, my gosh. I can. Oh, shout out to Steelers Nation, though. Steelers Nation was packed in that day, man. Yo, did y'all? I know y'all saw because you was all watching the same broadcast when they panned to the crowd late in that fourth quarter and everybody in there waving them terrible towels. This stupid loud TJ Watt jumping up and down, hyping the crowd up. I'm like, bro, I promise you, we love Steelers Nation, man. If you on the field, you feel all of that, especially on the road, man. So shout out to y'all, man. Definitely shout out to y'all. Yes, Jay Morrison. For a fact, the nation travels extremely well, man. But that was beautiful to see, man. Yes, Travis Williams, them terrible towels was going crazy out there, man. Like I said, that's what we need right there. All right, home games, we know we booked that at the home game. We know that's guaranteed. But on the road, come on, man. And just the flip side of it. Think about how demoralizing that is when you're on offense or you're the home team and it's like, yo, they really ain't here dumb loud for the opposition. They're in here for the opponents going like this, like, oh my gosh, who's in control of the ticket sales in here, man? What are we doing? That's what you want to see right there, man. So big time salute to the dudes, man. All right. Oh, and he also says, he says, salute the ends. Here we go in. Victory Monday incoming. Don't you love Victory Mondays? Victory Mondays are the best, all right? Especially when we got podcasts on Victory Monday as well. So definitely, you see the double dip on that, all right? See the double dip. So make sure y'all tune in tomorrow, man. 4 o'clock. You know how we do it, Eastern Standard Time. GF, he says, that's why you go get a Mike Williams. Just getting started. I'm with you, man. Think about that. He doesn't even know the playbook yet. That was that. Hey, yo, get in here and just run vertical real quick. You're faster than him when you're one-on-one. Hey, Russ, up top, one time, moonball, please. Like, yeah. But shout out to Mike, man. Big athlete, big speed. And that was my whole thing we talked about a little bit once the trade happened. It's like, okay, if you don't get the proven productive all-world receivers that we were kind of linked to at various points this season, man, give me somebody that has extremely high pedigree and a lot of talent that necessarily hasn't all put it together on a consistent basis, but it's still been good. Let's not act like Mike wasn't still producing in LA. It was just he hasn't lived up to the expectations. But when you talk about his ability, man, that's God-given right there, what you saw today, man. And yeah, if we can continue to tap into that and hopefully him buy into this role and us pour into him a little bit, man, we can make this thing as successful as possible for both parties, man. But like I said, definitely a dope start, man, for the homie Mike Williams right there, man. Definitely dope. All right, Juice Bellamy says, we took over DC. I was in the building. Here we go. Now, salute to you, Juice Bellamy, and all the black and gold that was in there, man. It was lovely. I know they had this whole, we're going to throw out the maroon rally towel with the Steelers black gold towel, and it's going to be perfect. Nah, play it. It was a terrible towel party. That's what it looked like from the broadcast. So if that's what it looked like from our end, and you telling me it was looking like that on your side, hey, man, salute to you. Salute to you. I like it. Hey, Hassan. That's crazy, Hassan T 1989. He says, have to insert the obligatory Bills suck. Well, since you brought the Bills up, now I got to go look and see because I didn't even see what happened with them today. Did they win? I don't know if they won today. Let me see if they win today, man. Since Hassan brought up the Bills game, let me just go. Oh, they did. All right. 8-2, 30-20. Okay. Shout out. Hey, Hassan, I ain't even tripping there, man. I'm glad you said that then. All right. Keep the good time, keep the great times rolling. All right. It was a trifecta week, as you telling me that. JMU, black and gold, Pittsburgh. Okay. Or JMU, black and gold, Buffalo. Okay. I like it. I like that. Shout out to Hassan, man. It's a great day, man. Hey, J. Cole, I did not know that. I did not know that they won, man. You got to chill. I ain't know that. Shout out to brother, man, to you, though, man. Shout out to y'all, man. David Decker. I had no clue that that's what happened, man. Y'all know. You know I wouldn't know this. Y'all know I wouldn't trip. You know I wouldn't trip. Blame Hassan. Don't blame me. Blame Hassan. All right? He started it. But shout out to Hassan T 1989, man. Being a rock star life, man. Showing major love to the channel. Paying it forward with 5 upper room memberships. So Hassan, man, I do greatly appreciate you for the support. And to those individuals that were gifted that memberships, welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed, man. Definitely like that right there, man. Hey, Eddie Van trolling, man. No, man. I ain't no poker face, man. I was being authentic. That was real life. I had no clue that was going on, man. All right. Jeez. G. Alexander. He says, Wagwan, my what's the word? What's the word, my briggity brother? He says, that was a good team we just beat. I would agree. Entire team effort. Hopefully, Highsmith will be okay soon. Thanks to the con for those trades this week. Nah, 1,000% on that, man. Like I said, definitely sucks, man, for Highsmith to go down. I'm hoping that number one is low ankle sprain, not a high ankle sprain. Difference is low ankle sprain is week to week. Might be back next week with a nice tape job. Might be back in 2 weeks. If it's high ankle, you're looking more 4 to 6 weeks. Okay. I also will be curious to see what's the status with Nick Herbig. We obviously know that Coach Tomlin had brought him up during the bye week press conference or coming out of the bye week press conference, but we also went ahead and brought in Preston Smith because clearly Herbig wasn't going to be ready for this week. So we will see what his status is. I think if he is closer to getting back via potentially being out there next week or in 2 weeks, maybe not as rough on us. With Preston, I think the only concern I have right now is what does he know? It was a lot easier on him, going in late in the game with being able to just rush the passer. But when you're talking about playing base defense, we obviously know our outside linebackers dropping the coverage, and then how we do our run fits are a little bit different. So that could, like I said, put a little bit more of a challenge on him mentally, or it might make us be a little bit more conservative with some of our calls to not put him in a compromising position. So we'll see about that. But we obviously know we got Jeremiah Moon. He's still a guy that has played for us multiple occasions this year, man. So like I said, I do find a little bit of comfort with that, man. But like I said, we will definitely see what's the status going on, man, with some of these injuries, man. Because that room has went from being very deep and feeling good to now we're like, all right, still good. But, man, let's make sure we get back healthy now, all right? Yeah, make sure we get back healthy. Shout out to the homie Richard R. Beazle. He says, how coachable is JPJ? Still seeing hand issues when they aren't called. Is it him being beat or being undisciplined? I believe he can be elite. Man, I believe that's just how you play cornerback in the National Football League. Nobody is this like perfect image of cornerback play that I feel like a lot of fans and media try to create. This, you're just going to be perfectly backpedaling, mirroring the guy, looking at him in his eyeballs the whole time. You're never going to touch him. You're never going to restrict him. Nothing's ever going to happen negatively. You're never going to get a holding call. No, it's just going to be perfect. That, to me, is a fairy tale. I think that expectation is fairy tale also. So that's why, like, I don't get caught up in that whole thought process of, man, he's too handsy, he's too holding. It's like, you're going to have some penalties out there. You're playing cornerback one-on-one in the National Football League with the best athletes in the world. And guess what? When you're on offense, you know the route. When you're on defense, you're reacting to the route with a split second. You're going to get handsy at times if you're good. Show me a great corner in this league in today's NFL that doesn't get handsy. Heck, we've seen the best two that are regarded as the best two league-wide, Pat Surtain and Sauce Gardner. And both of those guys multiple holding penalties, multiple PI penalties, man. You can't make an omelet without breaking an egg. I am not tripping on them penalties, man. It comes with the territory. It sucks on occasion, but at the same time, man, yeah, that's what it comes with when you talk about playing out there versus some of them straight animals, man. Because I don't know if you watched Terry McLaurin before, but yeah, man, you don't put your hands on Terry. You don't want to, man. Terry go out there and take your head off for $150 and two of them things, man. Like it's like that sometimes, man. So for me, man, like I said, it's going to be some times where yeah, you're gonna get some penalties out there, but I don't think it's an issue of coaching or lack of focus. I just think that that's just a part of playing cornerback in the National Football League. It's no different when I think of watching pass rushers rush the passer and they get held, right? We want to throw the flag every single time it's holding penalty, but they ain't gonna call it. It's just a part of it. So you got to figure out, man, all right, how do I win in spite of? The same way on defense, man, every rule is predicated or designed and slanted in favor for those wide receivers on that perimeter. So on occasion, you're going to have some calls go against you. But as a whole, man, find a way to disrupt them dudes and do enough. So that way you can get out there with that victory, man. And so to me, man, that's kind of how I look at the JPJ stuff along with the Dante Jackson stuff. Because, yeah, them receivers are going to get every benefit of the doubt every single time. Push out of the break, push off of this. It doesn't matter. They get every single benefit of the doubt. So, yeah, you're going to get some calls against you, man. So be it. But for the majority of the game, man, just make sure you know what you're supposed to do, man. Make it a livid AG double hockey sticks for these receivers, man. But they got some good dudes over there, man. They had a legit quarterback today, too, man. Shout out to Jaden Daniels, man. I thought that with Jaden, man, like, he was making some plays today, man. He was making some plays. But like I said, I know the mindset is like, oh, yeah, man, this guy's supposed to just blanket him and nothing. It's like, nah, man, this ain't that, man. Shoot, even Darrell Revis had some of them holdings, man, DPIs, man. And when you did it, or if he did it, it's like, yo, you would still see some people take him up top too. Like, that's corner in the National Football League in today's NFL, man. But shout out to the fact that we got that victory nonetheless, though. And that's all that matters at the end of this thing, baby. Hassan T 1989, he says, can they stop mauling my boy TJ? No matter, we got the W anyway. Here we go, Steelers. Hope to see some of y'all next week in the Berg, flying it out on Thursday. Salute to Hassan T 1989. He said he's gonna be in the building, man. So definitely show the homie some love, man, if y'all bump into him. Kevin Weatherholt the second. Shout out to Kevin Weatherholt the second. And it's your 10th super chat, man. So from the heart, you know I appreciate you, baby. And don't forget to hit that like button. As a whole, if y'all are enjoying the stream and are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button one time, all right? But Kevin says, as a former NFL player, how do you watch the TV broadcast? More or less, what's your eyes looking at? Shout out. Well, today I had a little bit unique experience, man. The first quarter, I was at a watch party for the Steelers, man. So I was watching the game via like, all right, sign an autograph, take a picture. Let's watch the play that happens. Play ends. All right, sign an autograph, take a picture. So that was a little bit more of a challenge for me. But after the watch party was over, about midway through the first quarter, then I was able to come back to the casa, break it down like I like to do. And from there, man, when I'm watching the telly, I look at a couple of things. Every play, I'm picking somebody different that I want to have eyes on. One player might be Zach Frazier because I knew for him, he's coming back off of the injury from the ankle sprain. So I want to see what was he moving like. He also had a holding penalty that I wanted to see. How does he respond after the holding penalty? I would look on occasion at plays where I'm looking at Broderick Jones because I want to see what is his effort like, what is his finish like versus Dante Fowler. It's hard at times to see all of my secondary matchups because of how the camera angle is. So I typically will focus more on, the box. Running backs, linebackers, quarterback, O-line, D-line. And then as the plays kind of expand, sometimes you'll get a nice view where I can see a little bit more of the DBs. Well, now I'm trying to see, all right, what's these safeties looking like? Am I too high or am I single high? Middle field open, middle field closed. And what's the snapshot right when the ball snaps? Because whatever they were in, as soon as that ball snaps, they're going to go to something right now. Now, they might stay or they might move, but whatever it is within that first second, I'm also getting a chance to see that. So I just pick and choose, and I kind of, as the game is going on, when we're on offense, I'll just pick a different player that I kind of want to look at. And sometimes I might just watch the same player for the whole series because to me, I want to get more information on him. And then defensively, it's kind of a similar mindset. But I will say this on defense, I always will start top down, meaning what is the call? Like I'm looking at the call, like, all right, it's single high. Okay, cool. I'm expecting some type of man, some type of, you know, whether it's cover 3 or we getting cover 1 or maybe a blitz. If I see too high, I'm thinking to myself, all right, who's about to be dropping? What's this coverage looking like? Are we doing our Tampa 2s? And from there, like I said, man, start the process through that. But shout out to you on that question, man. I do like that right there, man. Shout out, shout out. All right, Joe Gerbis. Shout out to Joe Gerbis. He says, I love Jalen, but unfortunately, ball security is top priority, which is why he can't be RB1. Defense rallied, good game. The O-line didn't look great, but good enough. I would agree. I definitely would agree, man, with all that right there. That's unfortunately been Jalen Warren's Achilles heel since, coming here. It's like, man, he's available up until this year. He kind of got banged up a little bit this year, but typically he's available. We know he runs hard as heck, can catch, explosive, but on occasion he'll put that ball on the ground. And like I said, it's unfortunate because he's a heck of a player, but that is a big part that, you don't want to have a lot of that on your tape, man, because it's just hard to trust you. I mean, we saw what that fumble did, man. It made that game a lot more of a dicey finish versus if we get that touchdown there, we obviously had to stop. We got the ball back. So it's like instead of us having to go down and make the Mike Williams touchdown to give us the lead, in theory, man, that should have been the touchdown to give us even more separation in this game. But it is what it is, For Jalen, man, he'll live and he'll learn from it. I don't see his role necessarily decreasing. I do feel like because he was back, that did hurt Naji's production because he just didn't get as many touches. But to me, it's like all three of those guys are so unique to themselves. Cordell Patterson doesn't do some of the things that I see with Jalen Warren. Jalen Warren doesn't do some of the things that I see from Naj, and then Naj don't do some of the things I see from Cordell. Like all of those guys, I think complement each other really well when healthy. But we definitely got to make sure that we have ball security. And I know people are going to make the case of, oh man, but the official came back on the commentary and said, well, I could have seen it as, for progress stopping. And that's all well and good. But what does that got to do with you holding the football? That's my whole thing. Dead play or not. What does that have to do with you holding the football? Coach Tomlin will tell you this every single time. You're a running back or wide receiver, you're a ball carrier. Somebody holds the ball, he says, man, you can carry in our hopes and dreams with you every single time you got that football. I don't care about no, oh man, they blew the play. Nah, bro, if you are up on your feet, you hold on to that dang on ball. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, man. I don't want to hear none of that. I know that's that because he definitely said, he was like, oh man, yeah, I could have blown that for progress. Yeah, for progress stopping, but you better stop seeking that comfort. No, man. If you are up and you got that ball returns back to the line of scrimmage with you. When you hit that ground, you have that ball in your hands, man. Yeah, man. Absolutely. I don't hear none of that. What? It was a dead play. All right. It was a dead play until it wasn't, huh? Yeah. Anywho, Benny, she about to get me hot. And I like Jalen. I'm a Jalen Warren guy, but I'm like, hey, hey, man. Hey, don't you putting up on that ground like that. You better than that. You better than that, man. All right. Benny Guavo says, no more Minka slander. Man, I've been with you on that, man. But you know how it is, man. People going to get loud when they want to get loud until he makes those plays like we saw at the end of the game. And then it's like, all right, yeah, we chill, we good. But nah, I'm a big Minka guy, man. Big Minka fan, man. He flew around, man. Look good. Richard Arbizo, Naji earning more money and more touches. Feed him. Nah, shout out to Naj, man. He is another one of them dudes, man. The consistency continues to show. Even with everybody's offensive numbers being down, he still, to me, was one of the constants. He still was one of those big factors or big contributors to today's game. Now, he wasn't the best or the biggest reason why, but no, he definitely was a contributor, man. And he's surefire. Like, you know what you're going to get with Naji every single time. And that's the part that I love, man. Like the consistency with him, the physicality with him, the peace of mind in certain instances with him is refreshing, man. But at the same time, it's like, we're going to find out. We are definitely going to find out, man, what the team decides, man, as this thing keeps going. As long as he stays healthy and everything keeps going how it is. Because that number is going to keep going up, man. What was it? Chuba Hubbard, I want to say. He just got paid, was it 8? I think it was like $8 million per year. We obviously know where Ramondre Stevenson just got paid, man. So to me, I'm like, yeah, I've already told y'all I like Naji over both of them dudes. And if those are the numbers that they getting paid on a per year average, I'm like, nah, bro. Naj, Naj number a little higher than both of them dudes than me, man. Or bare minimum at a 10 piece. So, like I said, we'll see how the Steelers look at him, man, in the sense of what they want to contribute. But man, the number is up there now. Like, you declined the option, that was fine. Didn't sign the extension before the season, that's fine. Whatever, that's fine. But that number is double digits for sure. All you gotta do is stay healthy, man. But I like what I'm getting out of him, man. Definitely like what I'm getting. Ray Martinez says, does this type of win help a team, or can you get too big-headed with a top AFC North team coming up? Nah, man. First off, every win is a great win, man. It is extremely difficult to win in this league, man. So, these type of wins, man, definitely help you out in a major way because you gritted together. You found out that, yeah, we could beat a good team on the road without playing the best ball that we've played all season. We still found a way to win. That's resiliency. That's banding together. That's digging deep and knowing that, hey, man, when it's time to make a play, one of us out here are capable. If the non-known guys are making plays in these moments, just imagine when the known guys get a chance to step up in some of those moments, man. So to me, I think that that's refreshing. Now, it's different when you're talking about AFC North teams and then when you're talking about like the Ravens. Like, that ain't no team you about to be sleeping. I don't care what their record is, man. Baltimore coming to town. You know what it is. We want to stump their face in, man. Yeah, so I don't think that, this is a big-headed opportunity. No, I think if anything, you know exactly what you're walking into, because how can you be big-headed when we saw how our game ended? It was an absolute dogfight, and then you look at what Baltimore was able to do to that same team. You're going to say, oh, man, all right, you better respect this team. You better respect them really, really well, man. But to me, man, this is the part of the season, especially with just how everything is played out at the beginning versus to where we are now, where we're going to learn about ourselves. When you're playing teams outside of your division, we've seen Lamar Jackson's success against so many teams outside of, the AFC or even outside of Pittsburgh, right? Because you just don't see them enough. So it's awkward. For us, we match up really well with a lot of teams because of how physical we are. A lot of teams aren't accustomed to our physicality. That changes when you get into the division. With these teams, they see you twice a year that draft and sign players specifically to beat you. This is what we're about to find out in terms of that test, man, when you get into that division play. 7-2 is great, but we have not played anybody in the division. So, yeah, we're about to learn a lot, man. So, Coach Tom is going to reiterate that exact same message with a lot more flavor and flair on it and them Tomlinisms to the guys, man. But as a whole, they'll be ready to go, man, because this is where you find out who you really are. The 7-2 is great. Them non-AFC North teams are great. But this is what we find out, if you really like that or not, man. So I'm excited. Definitely excited, baby. And if y'all digging how we doing it, man, on the post-victory stream, hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Shoot, I like when we win, man. The phone be blowing up after the game, man. All the victory tape. Yo, you see that? Oh man, that's dope right there. Oh, I love this. Shout out to the victory tape. And I got my fantasy football update going on right now. How y'all fantasy squad do today, man? Just asking for a friend, man. All right. Hopefully none of y'all were playing against Jamar Chase this week. Cause holy smokes, he was cooking out that thing. Okay. Oh, fantasy squad balling out a little bit today. Okay. Had my Steelers defense starting out here. Got a little 19 points out of them. 19.48. Shout out. Okay. I like it. Yeah. It's pretty fly. Okay. Hopefully y'all having some success as well, man. I'm kicking the heck out my man's in this fantasy football matchup. Landslide. Love to see it. Farron Bradford, he says, them refs, some buns. Hey, look, man. Y'all know how I feel about them refs, baby. You just gotta let them live. Because they're going to have some absolutely great calls that go in our favor and some absolutely trash, atrocious, just like, bro, throw the whole referee away. Some of them calls as well, man. But what has still held the test of time? Over 4 quarters, man. If you're doing what you're supposed to do when you kicking butt, man, the occasional call or 2 or sometimes 3 that will go against you will still not be enough to stop you, man. So shout out, like I said, man, to the guys overcoming whatever the adversity was in stadium. Like I said, because some of it was self-inflicted, man. The fumble, the interception, that's self-inflicted, right? The dropped pass on the punt or on the fake punt pass, that's self-inflicted. But find a way to overcome it. It doesn't matter. Find a way to overcome it, because at the end of the day, we're sitting here at 7-2. We feel great. Nobody is about to be over here harping on that type of stuff or losing our mind on it, because we were able to ultimately come out with a victory. And that's what it's about, man. Finding a way. Finding a way, baby. Red. Shout out to you, Red. And I appreciate your support for the channel as well. He says, all those Naji haters, leave the chat. I wonder how Deke will blame Warren's fumble on Naji. Yeah, that is funny, because we've seen this too many times, man. Nobody wants to give, or a lot of people don't give Naji the proper respect and credit he deserves from my eyes, at least, man. And it's really, like I said, good to see Naji, man, being who I think he's been capable of being, man. They said it wasn't always explosive, but some of that was due to just how teams were playing. That's due to our lack of passing ability. We've seen now, though, that with Russ out there, even when teams try to be a little more aggressive, man, we got a quarterback that can win one-on-ones with his arm, but we also got this back that can still, versus a packed out box like the Commanders were playing today. They didn't play a ton of too high. They challenged our corners. They challenged our receivers. So yeah, we're gonna play you one-on-one, and we're gonna make sure that we don't give up a ton of explosive runs. We still had over 100 yards on the ground, though, for the day as a team. But it was pretty interesting to see that the Commanders took that approach. Shout out to Dan Quinn for that, man. I respect the heck out of him as a defensive mind, because he knows, like, yo, if I'm watching us and I'm saying which version, how do I want to play this, I'm playing it the same way. Make those receivers have to make plays. Make that quarterback have to make plays and be the hero. I can't allow this running game to get started and really take over, but Naji still was providing plays, or still was providing production, along with Jaylen Warren. Both of those guys had a couple of explosive runs of over 10 plus yards. So, like I said, dang good to see that, man. But shout out to Naj, though, man. Naj, he definitely was doing his thing, man. And like I said, for him, ball security is good. For Warren, we'll continue to have it as work in progress, man. For shout out to the homie, man. All right, Antonio Jackson, shout out to you, man, joining the upper room. So, welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Now, like I said, man, definitely loving that, man. I see Rashad Rourke talking about the homie Patrick Queen. Said he played well today, man. Facts on that, man. Facts on that. He said, man, this is, in my eyes, man, one of Patrick Queen's best game, man, in the black and gold. Let me see what he ended with tackle wise on the day. Last time I saw him, he was like at like that 7, 8. Yeah, so he ended up seven tackles, 6 solo, 2 TFLs, and a PBU. Yeah, he was hooping. He flew around today, man. But it wasn't just the stats, because like I said, man, y'all know how I feel sometimes, man, when we watching him, or even just looking at the stats, man. I just thought as a whole, man, as I'm watching, I thought that his tackling was a lot better today. It was a lot more fundamentally sound. I thought that we really got a chance to see his athleticism kind of be highlighted with some of his sideline to sideline, chasing people down stuff, and even him running into coverage. To me, like, that's what you signed him for. And I think that he's only going to continue to get better. Now, obviously, we got to see if he's healthy. He was like shaking his arm or something like that at the end of the game, but my man was not coming out. And that's the one thing I will say too. He's tough as nails, man. He's not the biggest linebacker, but he got that dog in him, man. And like I said, man, there are going to be some times where he does miss some tackles because he's, throwing it all out there, man. But today, man, I thought that his tackling was really good. I thought that this was, like I said, a super productive day, but just an overall good game from him, just optically watching it, man. So like I said, I definitely hope that continues with him as well, man, as he continues to get more and more acclimated, more and more comfortable with this defense, being the leader of it. Because like I said, man, he's the big fish, man. He got the check. He's the green dot, middle of the field guy. Like, yeah, this is the expectation, man. But he's showing that he is capable of it. And like I said, that was a good part to see. Really refreshing from him, man. Oh, and shout out to his son T1989 joining the upper room. So welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Definitely like that, man. Definitely. Let me see. Let me see. What else we got in the building? Oh, and Marco Prove It, talking about Preston Smith came in good as well with a good pickup. Not 100% on that, man. Timely production from him, man. And it was good to see that when Highsmith went down, we had a dude that's coming into this game that's 7-8 sack dude on the season, year in and year out where he's been at in Green Bay and obviously in Washington. And the dude that, like I said, man, is more than capable of playing against the run, man. So, like I said, definitely liked that part, man. So shout out to Preston, man, getting on a moving train. And shout out to Omar Khan as well, man. Shout out to Dylan A, man, showing love with a super chat. He says, Patrick Queen and Deshaun Elliott looked like torpedoes out there with the fire emojis. And I would agree. They said, man, both of those guys, man, play fast. Deshaun Elliott, man, I am a big time fan of his game, man. Obviously watching him in Miami last year, thought he flew around and played well. You see him in the playoff game versus the Chiefs, man. He had some nice hits, man. But it's almost like he's taking that to another level here this year, man. Playing even faster, even more physical, just on the spot with a lot of his production, man. And like I said, his tackling. I'm super impressed with just that element of it because, like I said, not all secondary guys want to tackle. Not all secondary guys tackle like that. And he's not just trying to get you to the ground. He's hitting and trying to knock you back. It's like a linebacker mentality. Like some dudes, they just want to get you on the ground. It's like, hey, I don't care if I was on my back, on my side, hey, I got you down. Us linebackers, it's like a mentality like, bro, I'm not falling back. Like, no. If I hit you, you're going. I'm falling forward when I tackle you. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. At least that's the mindset. When I look at Deshaun, he played just like that. I'm like, yo, shout out, bro. Shout out. So I like it, man. I like it. And then he start beating on his chest. I'm like, yo, talk your talk. I love it. Don't just be physical. Don't just look at them. Tell them about it. Let them know they can't see you and they got 4 quarters. You busting their head all day like that, man. Love it, man. Love it. Yeah, Black and Yellow Texas still. Hey, he's definitely on that short list for being the best pickup this offseason. 1,000% he's on there. Yep. Let me see. What else we got in the chat, man? Cause like I said, man, like the way this defense does it at times, man. Jaden Downs, man, that's a good player, man. That's some good players over there. Austin Eckler, man. Yeah. He made some plays. Made some plays. Black and Yellow Texas still. So Arthur Smith is not talked about, which is good. No, I would agree. I definitely would agree, man. Like I said, man, we felt like last year or the past couple of years, we learned Matt Canada's name too much. Learned it too well. Yeah. But when the production wasn't what it needed to be across the board, you have questionable play calling, questionable, execution, and not a lot of points being scored. Man, all of that comes up and that reflects upon the coordinator. But now Arthur Smith, man, has been a lot more quiet, and rightfully so. I think the only time we talk about him is when we're complimenting him. When we talking about, hey, man, shout out to Arthur Smith, man, job well done. But proven offensive coordinator. Like I said, there's a difference between a young person that doesn't have experience and is learning versus the elder statesman, the guy that has done it before. We're seeing it right now at quarterback. Justin Fields, who has success, versus Russell Wilson, who's having success. Both guys have had moments, but as a whole, it's like, yo, you see how much it's just like calm. It's proven. We know all of the things versus trying to figure out, all right, you do this well, you don't do this so well. We want to get more of this. We don't want to get more of that. Less of the on-the-job training. And I think that's refreshing also, man. Arthur Smith didn't have to figure out his bread and butter. He kind of already knows it. And like I said, man, it still wasn't a game today where we put up 30, but put up 28 points in a nasty, weird, like back and forth, awkward type of game, man. Rhythm was really off at times. We still ended up with 28 points. Just think about that, man. All the weirdness of it, we still scored 28 points. So, I mean, I think of how many times we were praying for just 20 points or 23 points the past 3 years, it's like, yo, we really scored 28 points, and it was like an awkward 28. I looked up when I said, yo, Russ really got 3 touchdown passes right now. Like, this didn't feel like that, but we already got that right now. Like, that's the type of vibe that we got going on right now, man. And like I said, it does start with the coaching, man. So shout out to Arthur Smith for that, man. And shout out to the squad, man. Russ, the receivers, running game, O-line, man. Dudes doing what they need to do, man. And that's what we're going to have to continue to see more of if we want to have this thing continuing, hopefully the way we wanted to end with that confetti raining on us. All right. But like I said, man, definitely loving what I'm seeing right now, man. But shoot, that will conclude, our little post-game stream, man. But it was a vibe because we won. And anytime we win, it's always a good time. So you know what it is, man. But like I said, man, y'all enjoy this victory, man. Celebrate, turn up, be safe, of course. But either way, I appreciate you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button one final time for the culture and subscribe if you are new. But until next time, baby. Peace.